The colony ship lurched as another plasma bolt tore through its hull. Alarms shrieked through corridors already choked with smoke and the acrid stench of melting composite armor. In the cargo hold, pressed against the cold metal wall, Kira held her synth cat close to her chest. The creature's artificial purr stuttered and skipped, damaged circuitry struggling to maintain its calming function. She was 12 years old and alone. The evacuation pods had launched hours ago, carrying her parents to the planet below. They had promised to come back for her. They had promised the ship would be safe until the second wave departed. But the raiders had come too soon, their vessels appearing from jump space like predators scenting wounded prey. Through the viewport above, Kira watched the battle unfold in terrible silence. Colonial defense drones spiraled and died, their brief flares of light marking the end of simple machines doing complex tasks. The raider ships were sleek and cruel, their hulls marked with symbols that represented pain in a dozen languages. Another impact. The deck tilted beneath her. Somewhere deep in the ship, something vital gave way with a groan that resonated through every bulkhead. Kira squeezed her eyes shut and buried her face in the synth cat's fur. Its purring grew more erratic. The raiders would board soon. She knew what happened when they boarded. The colony networks had been full of whispered stories, warnings disguised as rumors. Children were valuable to them, not as people, as commodities. Better to die here, she thought. Better the cold of space than their cages. Footsteps rang through the corridor outside, heavy, purposeful, multiple sources. Kira's breath caught in her throat. She pressed herself harder against the wall, as if she could melt into the metal itself and disappear. The cargo hold door hissed open. She did not look up. Could not. Would not. Whatever came next, she would face it with her eyes closed, holding the only thing left that offered comfort. Scan complete, a voice said. Deep, flat, not quite mechanical, but not quite organic either. Life signs detected. One juvenile human. Minimal threat assessment. Acknowledged, another voice responded. This one was different. Rougher somehow. More texture to it. Approaching now. Footsteps drew closer. Kira's heart hammered so hard, she thought it might break through her ribs. Easy there, kid? The voice was softer now. Almost gentle. It confused her more than anything else that had happened today. Raiders were not gentle. Raiders did not speak with voices that held concern. I'm not going to hurt you, the voice continued. My name is Marcus. I'm human. We're here to help. Human. The word took several seconds to register. When it did, Kira's eyes snapped open. The man kneeling before her wore armor that was battered and scarred from 1,000 engagements. His face was weathered, lines carved deep around his eyes and mouth. But those eyes were kind. Impossibly kind given the circumstances. Behind him stood others. 7 more soldiers in similar armor, all bearing the insignia of the Terran Expeditionary Force. Not raiders, rescuers. You're really human? Kira whispered. Marcus smiled. It transformed his hard face into something almost grandfatherly. Born and raised on Earth, Seattle, if you know where that is. Been in the service for 23 years now. But the news feed said humans didn't care about the outer colonies, that we were too far from Earth to matter. Something dark flickered across Marcus's expression. Well, the news feeds got it wrong. We care. We've always cared. He extended a hand slowly, telegraphing every movement. Come on, let's get you somewhere safe. Your synth cat, too. Kira hesitated. The battle still raged outside. The ship was dying around them. How could anywhere be safe? As if reading her thoughts, Marcus gestured to his squad. Rodriguez, get a damage assessment. I want to know if this bucket can make it to the surface, or if we need to evac. Jenkins, secure that breach on the starboard side. Martinez, see if you can get the auxiliary power online. The soldiers moved with practiced efficiency, each to their assigned task. They worked around her as if rescuing stranded colonists from dying ships was just another day at the office. Perhaps for them it was. The raiders, Kira said. Where are they? Dealt with, Marcus replied simply. Then, seeing her expression, he added, we try to take prisoners when we can. Give them a chance to face justice rather than just execution. But they fired on civilian vessels and refused to surrender. He shrugged. Sometimes the universe makes choices for you. Another soldier approached. This one was younger, female, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. Sir, we've got multiple hull breaches. This ship won't make orbit. We need to evac now. Marcus nodded. Prep the shuttle. Get everyone aboard. He turned back to Kira. Think you can walk? She tested her legs. They trembled but held. I think so. Good girl. Marcus stood, then offered his hand again. This time, Kira took it. His grip was warm, strong, the kind of grip that made promises and kept them. They moved through corridors that groaned and buckled. Emergency lighting cast everything in shades of red. Twice they had to detour around sections that had depressurized. Once they passed bodies. Kira tried not to look. The shuttle bay was chaos. More soldiers worked to stabilize other survivors. Kira saw faces she recognized from the colony. Mr. Peterson, who ran the hydroponics lab. The Yamada twins, both crying but alive. Dr. Okonkwo, the chief medical officer, her arm in a makeshift sling. Total count? Marcus called out. 47 survivors aboard ship, Rodriguez replied. Another 112 made it to the planet's surface before the raiders arrived. No fatalities that we know of. Thank God for small mercies. Marcus guided Kira toward the shuttle. What about the raiders' mothership? The Valkyrie engaged and destroyed it. Captain Hayes sends her regards and says you owe her dinner when this is over. Marcus actually laughed. Tell Captain Hayes she can add it to my tab. The shuttle interior was cramped but clean. Acceleration couches lined both walls. Kira found herself strapped in next to Dr. Okonkwo, who smiled wanly and squeezed her hand. You did good, honey, the doctor said. Staying calm like that. Your parents are going to be so proud. My parents. Kira had almost forgotten. Are they okay? We'll find out soon enough. The shuttle launched with a roar that pressed everyone back into their seats. Through the small viewport, Kira watched the colony ship fall away behind them. It tumbled slowly through space, trailing atmosphere and debris like blood in water. She had spent 3 years on that ship. It had been her home for the entire journey from Earth. Now it was just another piece of space junk, drifting toward an eventual fiery death in the planet's atmosphere. It's hard, isn't it? Marcus said. He had taken the seat across from her. Watching something that was yours become nothing. Kira nodded, not trusting her voice. The good news is that things are just things. People are what matter. And you're safe. Your colony is safe. That's what counts. Why did you come? The question burst out before Kira could stop it. Everyone says Earth doesn't care about us. That we're just tax revenue and labor statistics. Why risk your lives for us? Marcus was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice carried weight that went beyond simple words. I've got a daughter about your age, Rebecca. She's back on Earth with her mother, my ex-wife. I don't get to see her much. This job keeps me away more than I'd like. He met Kara's eyes. Every kid I'd pull out of situations like this, I pretend it's her I'm saving. Maybe that's selfish. Maybe that's not the noble reason you're looking for. But it's the truth. I think that's the most noble reason there is, Kira said softly. The shuttle shuddered as it hit atmosphere. Outside, the sky changed from black to blue to brilliant orange. The planet rushed up to meet them, all green continents and white clouds and vast oceans that glittered like scattered jewels. "Welcome to your new home," Marcus said. "New Terra. It's not much yet, but it will be." The landing was smooth. The shuttle doors opened to reveal a landscape that took Kira's breath away. Rolling hills stretched to distant mountains. The air that rushed in was warm and smelled of growing things. In the distance, she could see the colony settlement, its prefab structures gleaming in the afternoon sun. And there, running across the landing field, were her parents. Kira's mother reached her first, crushing her in an embrace that lifted her feet off the ground. Her father wrapped both of them in his arms, and they stood there crying and laughing and talking all at once. When they finally pulled apart, Kira turned to thank Marcus. But he had already stepped away, giving her family their space. He stood with his squad, checking equipment and preparing for whatever came next. "Marcus," Kira called out. He turned. "Thank you." He smiled that same gentle smile. "Just doing my job, kid. You stay safe now. Build something good here." Then the squad was moving, boarding the shuttle for their return trip to whatever ship waited in orbit. Other crises, other rescues, other children who needed gentle hands in the darkness. Kira watched until the shuttle became just another bright dot in the sky. Her synth cat stirred in her arms, its purring finally steady again. Her mother rested a hand on her shoulder. "Come on, sweetheart. Let's go home." Home. The word had new meaning now. Not a ship or a structure. Just wherever her family stood together. Kira took one last look at the sky, then turned toward the settlement and the future it represented. Behind her, the stars kept their watch.